I broke up with my boyfriend after I found out he hasn't seen his daughter since April, so I started dating this guy Ryan back in December. He's 34, I'm 29, and at first it was just casual, but by June we got serious, and I was really falling for him. The only thing that made me nervous was that he has an 8-year-old daughter named Sophie. I'd never dated a dad before, but Ryan always talked about what an amazing father he was. He'd say things like, "Sophie and I have such a special bond, and being a dad is the most important thing in my life." I didn't want to push too hard about his daughter since we'd only been together for a few months, but I'd ask about her sometimes. He'd always have these sweet stories about their weekends together and how much she loved spending time with him. Then November came around, and my sister sent me my niece's Christmas wish list. My niece is also 8, so I figured I'd ask Ryan about Sophie's list since they're the same age. He got this weird look and said he hadn't gotten it yet. I told him he should probably ask soon, or all the good stuff would sell out. He just nodded and said he'd handle it. A week later, I was planning to go Christmas shopping and invited him to come with me. He said no, so I asked if he'd gotten Sophie's wish list yet. That's when he said something that made my stomach drop. Sophie doesn't want gifts. Her love language is quality time, not presents. I stared at him. What 8-year-old doesn't want Christmas presents? I told him that sounded really unusual for a kid her age. Ryan completely blew up at me. He started yelling about how I was obsessed with his daughter and that I thought I knew her better than he did. His reaction was so over the top and defensive that I knew something was wrong. That night I couldn't sleep. Something about the whole thing felt off, so I decided to do some detective work. It took me a while, but I managed to find his ex's social media accounts. Her name's Jessica, and when I found her TikTok, I started scrolling through her posts. That's when I saw a video that made my blood run cold. It was from Sophie's birthday in October with the caption, "Making my daughter's birthday extra special so she forgets that her father didn't show up again." I sat there staring at my phone for like an hour. Finally, I worked up the courage to send Jessica a message. I introduced myself as Ryan's girlfriend and said I didn't want to cause trouble, but I had some questions. She took a few days to respond, but when she did, she agreed to talk on the phone. What she told me completely destroyed everything I thought I knew about Ryan. First, he'd lied about their relationship. He told me they'd dated briefly and Sophie was an accident, but Jessica said they'd been together for 3 years and Sophie was planned. Then she dropped the bombshell. Ryan started questioning paternity during Jessica's pregnancy and demanded a DNA test while she was still pregnant. When she said they'd do it after the baby was born for safety, he moved out and didn't even come to the hospital when Sophie was born. The worst part? Ryan hadn't seen his daughter since April. 8 months. He doesn't pay child support, doesn't call, nothing. He's been a complete deadbeat dad while lying to me about being father of the year. I was spending Christmas at my parents' house when I sent Ryan a text ending things. I told him I knew the truth about Sophie and couldn't be with someone who abandons their child. He's been calling nonstop, begging to explain his side, but there's no explanation for not seeing your kid for 8 months while pretending to be an amazing dad to your new girlfriend.